Let's talk Auburn recruiting, and is confidence increasing after quarterback Deuce Knight took his official visit to the Plains over the weekend? Could the Notre Dame commit be close to finally flipping that commitment? We're going to get to the bottom of it in this video. I got Auburn insider Jeffrey Lee. He's got the latest intel on Knight. But first, Auburn fans, do me a favor and hit subscribe to the On3 Recruit page. We love talking Auburn recruiting on this channel, so jump on board and hit subscribe for me, please. All right. Let's bring in the great Jeffrey Lee, Auburn Live. Now, you just posted a note on Deuce Knight today on Auburn Live. What are you hearing about the Notre Dame quarterback as he leaves his official visit to Auburn?
Some positive buzz, Josh, around Deuce Knight and Auburn for the first time, and it seems like a while. Even though he's been on campus for the first 5 home games,
right?
You never really heard much coming from those visits, and at one point we all thought it was going to be an early season flip. That didn't happen. He kept coming back. He kept coming back, and then after this official visit, it was almost like Auburn was like, "Okay, we get the point. Either you're going to have to get in this boat, or we're going to be looking elsewhere. We're going to not just be looking elsewhere and talking to others, but we're going to start making moves. We're going to start pushing for others." And I don't know if that made a difference, or maybe Deuce was just, got what he needed from the official visit. But it seems like as of Tuesday morning, wrong day. As of Tuesday morning, things seem to be swinging back towards Auburn. I've heard a lot of positive conversations over the last 15 or so hours, and those are all positive for Auburn with Deuce Knight.
So what happened? Was it a conversation? Was it what he saw in the field? Was it a feeling? Like, what happened this weekend to, like you said, kind of turn the tide in this recruitment back to Auburn?
I don't know if there was anything specific that happened. I think it was a culmination of all these visits, the relationships that he's been building, being able to see Auburn, even though they lost against Oklahoma. You saw Peyton Thorne have his best game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You could sell to him, early playing time, obviously, but just a few pieces that they're missing this season, and as well as all the freshmen and sophomore in the recruiting class that they have in the 2025 cycle. A bright future is what you're selling, and to have that and be able to pitch that to Deuce Knight for the past 5 weekends, advantageous for Auburn. But I also think that maybe, Juju Lewis coming back into the fold, maybe that was some leverage Auburn had with him that was like, hey, he wants in. We want it to be you, but if you're not coming, that's fine. We need to go here. So I don't know if it was the leverage or just a culmination of everything, Josh, but it seems to be there's some momentum, there's some steam building here. Maybe the finish line is in sight after all.
Yeah. So real quick, just to wrap the Deuce Knight talk up. So here we are sitting midweek. Everything you said is great, but he still hasn't committed yet. And you said they went back and kicked the tires again, opened the lines of communication with Julian Lewis. We know that they've talked to Luke Nickel as well. So what's Auburn's next move with Deuce?
I would say they're going to give him another 3 to 4 days. I think they want to know something. They want some finality in this and some closure to this quarterback recruiting. They want to get him on board, and because a lot of other guys are kind of keeping an eye on him to see what he does.
All right. Another recruitment that is coming to a closure real quick is going to be Usman Kroma, the running back. He is deciding this Saturday, announcing it's Auburn and Georgia primarily, but we know Tennessee and Florida State are probably just hats on the table at this point. So what are you hearing as we're a couple days out from this decision?
A lot of back and forth. I'm with you. Auburn, Georgia, Florida State just got Byron Lewis, so I don't expect them to be much of a factor in his recruitment. I think it's been Auburn, Georgia for a while now, even though he went back to Florida State. But I think on Saturday it's going to be one of the two. A lot of early buzz about Auburn. Georgia making a move here late, and like I told you before, Josh, it's very difficult for any school, any college to go into Georgia, get a top recruit that Georgia really wants, and I don't think Usman Kroma is any different. So I don't know that he's made a final decision. We've talked to some sources close to his recruitment. He hasn't come out and said, hey, man, I'm going to pick, so-and-so on Saturday. Don't tell anybody. I don't think that's the case. I think he's still mulling it over, but
Yeah.
it's hard not to default to the in-state program when it's Georgia and they want a kid.
Do we know if he plans on being at the Georgia game this weekend?
That I do not know. It would be fitting if he did pick Georgia, though.
Yeah, I would say so. So okay, I was just trying to see if he was tipping his hand or anything there, but we'll see. So what will Auburn do? Because they have a great back in the fold already in Alvin Henderson. What does Auburn need at the running back position if Chroma does go in the other direction?
Well, they would have taken two in this class if they could have been Alvin Henderson in a Chicago Mills night, Alvin Henderson and Usman Chroma, something like that, A.K. Deer. But if Usman Chroma chooses Georgia on Saturday, obviously they're going to continue to recruit him. They're going to continue to recruit Mills Knight. But at the end, I don't see them taking just anyone. Now, if those scholarship numbers come back from the NCAA as the scholarship limit goes to 105, I could see them maybe dipping down, taking what they would consider a developmental guy, a guy that they don't expect to come in and make noise early, but maybe after 2 or 3 years. I could see that, but I could also see Auburn signing Alvin Henderson and then go into the transfer portal in the offseason.
All right, Auburn fans, talk to us right now. There is a thread on the Auburn Live message board right now, the corner. There's a debate happening. Am I too negative? The title of the thread is Josh Newberg. Am I too negative in my coverage of the Auburn Tigers recruiting? Now, here's what I'll say. I cover the ups and downs, Jeff, on this show, the inside scoop, where it's like a roller coaster, because recruiting is a roller coaster of emotion. So if you remember back to August, which kind of seems like a long time ago, but I was the one saying that Auburn was the hottest team on the recruiting trail. They won the month of August, and they were taking that right into the season. Now, of course, there's been some ups and downs during the season, more downs than ups, and we cover that here on the Inside Scoop, but I don't think that makes me negative in my coverage of Auburn. Do you, Jeff?
Absolutely not, man. I went on there and defended you, Josh. I think you've been fantastic. You've heaped the praise when they deserved it, and you've asked the tough questions when it deserved to be asked.
And look, just because, they're in a little bit of a lull right now in recruiting doesn't mean next month we're not going to be heaping praise back on Hugh Freeze and their staff when they start landing guys. And we know they're going to turn it back up because flip season, that's where Hugh Freeze thrives. So, maybe it's a little down now, but hey, if you follow recruiting, you got to take the ups with the downs. That's why we get so excited when the highs are high, because the lows are so low. So if you feel like I'm being negative, hey, we're just telling the story of what's happening right now. And at some point they're going to turn it around, and we'll hey, maybe this weekend they land Chroma. But hey, what do you think, Jeff? Comment section below. You guys let us know. Am I too negative in my coverage of Auburn? All right, Jeff, thanks for dropping by the Inside Scoop today.
Absolutely, Josh. Thank you.